This is us getting the shop set up to begin making John's ring. So I'm currently struggling with the propane tube, and we used a vise, an anvil, a propane forge, and I was getting everything set up so that we could get started. Okay, this is a piece of Damascus steel that I ordered off eBay. I think a man in Virginia made it. Anyway, I made Micah's ring out of this one, and this one has a little crack in it that I noticed on this far end, so we're gonna start working on this end. So we're gonna make a ring from this end of the bar. There's a switch right here. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like I don't know, it's a button. It has a little, when you mash it, it creates a spark. So whenever I move this knob, it will let the gas flow into the forge. You can hear it. So there, you can kind of hear it hissing. Oh, you want to make sure the door is open so you don't blow your door out. Start punching our hole over here because we'll have our punch, but we're not going to start punching it here because that will cause the metal to cave in because there's not any support around the hardy hole here. So what we'll do is we're going to start by punching our hole over the face of the anvil so that it has full support behind it, so there's no caving in. So we'll do it for a while. We'll start and we'll go about a little less than halfway through on this side, then we're going to turn it around and line it up. You'll be able to see by the way that heat is leaving the metal because it's absorbing into the punch, so you can get a pretty close guess on lining it up. So you'll punch it on this side, turn it over, punch it on this side, and then when you've almost gone through, we're going to move over to the smaller hole, the pritchel hole, and that way it'll have more support. So that way we'll break through over this hole, and then as it gets the punch goes through farther and farther, we'll move to this bigger hole because we'll just need more room because the punch will go through. See? That's our first step. And that'll take multiple heats, but that's the whole process. Or wait, you just bring it straight up and I'll stand over here. flip it over and put that through the hardy hole. Look, we made a biscuit. Okay, flip it over through the hardy hole. Turn it over, come to the pritchel hole. Okay, flip it over and put the punch through the hardy.
The hole's bigger.
Yes, okay, so we punched the hole and it was beautiful. The piece of material came out in a perfect little, it's called a biscuit. Then we were widening the hole, and where the veins of the Damascus were, there was this perfect crack. So, we're starting another hole.
Okay. See how it goes.
Flip it and put it there. Alright, we'll go from the other side.
Alright, so after we punched the hole through the steel bar for the ring, the grinding process began, and you can see here that I'm using an air grinder to get the correct diameter for the center hole. It's 19 millimeters for a size 9 ring, so just working away the material in a circular pattern, trying to make sure that's consistent and not make an oval, and measuring it to make sure it stays right. After grinding away the center of the ring, I changed its position in the vise and started to use this angle grinder, which we use to cut the piece itself away from the bar as a whole, to take off a lot of material so that later during the sanding process it would be gentler on the sanding paper when I started to make the bevels for the ring to make it circular. Alright, so we're finishing the final steps of making this Damascus wedding ring. I finished grinding the bevels in the ring, and I cleaned it with hot soap and water after I buffed it to make sure that there's no dirt remaining. You can use some denatured alcohol that you purchase at your hardware store for that as well, just to make sure there's no dirt or residue that might interrupt the etching process. This is the etching solution that we purchased from Radio Shack, which those are hard to find now, but we found one. It has ferric chloride in it, which is the actual acid that etches the veins in the Damascus steel. And what you have to do is, all you need is a glass little piece of wire. You can use paper. Okay, so what I did is I bent the wire around the ring so that it would suspend the ring down at the bottom of the glass jar so that you don't have to use too much etching solution. So all I'm gonna do now, I've heard both that you can use straight etching solution and you can use 50-50 etching solution and water. I'm gonna try to use just straight etching solution because I have a feeling that will turn out better. But yeah, all you do is you put your etching solution. You want to make sure you don't touch your skin with the etching solution. It can stain your skin, and it's probably not good for you since it's a strong acid. And then just make sure that your ring is fully covered up. And you're going to leave that for about 10 minutes. I'm going to check it out 5 minutes and see what it looks like. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes, and if we take the ring out, you can see, hopefully, that you can see the Damascus veins in the ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it and see if it's the color that I want it to be. The longer you leave it in the etching solution, the darker it will get. So yeah, let's see what happens.